If you checked out my Twitter and you saw my tweet last night during the Leaf game, or it was just after the Leaf game, something like that, and I mentioned something along the lines of, I'm kind of tired of being a fan of awful franchises. And going into today, the Blue Jays won yesterday. Vibes are a little bit better. Manoah getting his first start. Let's see what happens. And through the first 3 innings, the vibes were good. Manoah had 5 strikeouts through 2. He only allowed 2 runs through 3 innings. Vladdy hits a grand slam. You're up 6-2. You're feeling pretty confident, and the wheels completely fall off. But let's break it down from the start. As I mentioned, Manoah did struggle in the first inning with the command. Did walk with Joey Meneses with the bases loaded, albeit an error doesn't help you there either. And then the top of the second inning, things get a little interesting, right? You get gifted some opportunities. IKF gets on via an error from the pitcher Mackenzie Gore. Varsho scores. We got a tied ball game. Vladdy comes up later on with the bases loaded, and he gets an 87-mile-an-hour slider thing that kind of floats over the middle of the plate, and he disposes it into the seats for a grand freaking slam. And the Jays score a 5-piece in the inning, and you're up 5-1. Great start. Top of the third inning. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa rips an RBI single to right field. And then David Schneider scores. And you're up 6-1. You're feeling good. Then Luis Garcia hits a solo shot off of Alek Manoah. But again, gets out of the inning, and he's got 5 strikeouts, and you're feeling pretty confident. 2 runs over 3, get a 6-2 advantage. And as I mentioned, the wheels completely fall off here. He allows an RBI single to Luis Garcia, scoring Jacob Young and Eddie Rosario, making it a 6-4 game. And then with this is where I don't know if I want to blame Kirky for this pitch or if I want to blame Alec for the pitch. You have guys at second and third, Jesse Winker at the plate, who crushes off-speed pitches. There's a base open, and it's a full count pitch. He throws him a cement-mixing slider right down the middle at 81. If that ain't a hit-me breaking ball, I don't know what is, and he disposed of it into the seats. It's a 3-run shot. You allow 5 in the inning, and just like that, you're down by, down by 1. Awful. But the Jays actually came back a little bit. Where are we here? Top of the 5th inning, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, it's a sacrifice fly to right field. In comes David Schneider. You're feeling pretty good about yourselves. Then Ernie Clemente, it's a chopper to short. C.J. Abrams can't field it. Varsho scores, and just like that, the Blue Jays regain the lead. It's now, 8-7 at this point? And then the bullpen falls apart, right? Because Luis Garcia, it's an RBI single, scoring Jacob Young, and it's now tied at 8. And then the bottom of the 7th inning, Eric Swan, this is after David Schneider, or is this after David Schneider, or is that the David Schneider thing happened in the 6th? Who cares? Regardless, Eric Swanson, who has been not bad. He has been unwatchable and unplayable this season so far. I get it's early, sure, but he's been awful. Throws a splitter down and into a lefty in the strike zone. An awful pitch to Eddie Rosario, who takes him deep, and you're down 10-8. Then just to add to it, Joey Meneses is a sacrifice fly in the 8th inning, scoring C.J. Abrams. It's now 11-8. Your bullpen continues to stink. Manoah wasn't great. Your offense was fine, I guess. You got helped by some errors, and you lose. So as I mentioned earlier, right off the top, about franchises that continue to break your heart, after that awful loss last night by the Leafs, the Jays followed up with a miserable one where you're up 6-1 and you blow it. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I honestly do this to myself? Let's get to these player stats. George Springer continues to suck. And why he continues to hit in the leadoff hole, I don't know. 1 for 5 today with 3 strikeouts for George. Not good at all. Vladdy, I thought he was okay. I thought he was fine. 2 for 4, runs scored, hit his first home run since April 10th. Yes, almost a month without a Vladdy home run. 4 RBIs, obviously the home run. Did walk once as well, so got on base 6 times? The 3 of the 5 times he came to the dish, something like that. So fine, good job from Vladdy. Justin Turner and Bo Bichette, they reeked today. Justin Turner 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Bo Bichette 0 for 4 with a walk. Both guys had walks, I guess, but Bo Bichette's hitting a .195 with a .254 OBP. It's not good enough at all. It's just not. David Schneider, great night offensively. Didn't like him misreading that ball in the outfield, which led to a run. But whatever, David Schneider 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, walked twice, great with the bat today, had a stolen base as well, hitting .270 with a .372 on base and an over 800 OPS. He's doing his job with the bat. Great stuff from him. Dalton Varsho, 1 for 5, scored a couple runs. I guess you'll take it from Varsh. Kirky, 1 for 3 with a run scored, walked once, got on base twice. Good on him for that. IKF, 2 for 4 with a run scored, 3 RBIs for IKF. He's doing fine. You had 10 hits, you struck out 6 times, walked 6 times, you had the offense, you scored 8 freaking runs. It should win you a ball game, especially with this team, but no. Alek Manoah, 4 innings, 6 hits allowed, 7 runs, 6 were earned, 6 Ks, walked 4, allowed 2 home runs. It wasn't great. Nate Pearson continues to not be great. He went an inning, allowed a hit, a run, hit a guy, but thank God the dude swung the bat, so it didn't really count. But his ERA is now in the 5s. Genesis Cabrera added a couple hits and an earned run in his 1 inning of work, an ERA of 6.23. Eric Swanson went an inning, allowed a hit, a run, got a strikeout, but it was a home run he allowed. His ERA is 16.5, which again is awful. Again, these are all in tie games. Like, this is the problem with this Jays team right now. Their bullpen is one of the worst in baseball. I know it may not seem like it because of what they did last season, but all the numbers suggest they are one of the worst in baseball. And even Zach Pop goes an inning, allows a run. Every bullpen guy, every pitcher who pitched today allowed a run. It's just not good enough. Like, we can talk about Alek Manoah, and his stuff wasn't, look, I had the strikeout stuff, had 6 Ks through 4. That's nice. But the lack of command and then the missed pitch to Jesse Winker, it's an awful, awful time. No matter what way you look at it, 7 runs over 4 innings, not good enough. And then every single bullpen the rest of the way, or bullpen pitcher the rest of the way allowing a run, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. We can talk about offensively, sure, and they scored 6 runs yesterday and 8 today. That should be good enough to win you ball games. You should have won this series and moved on, but you didn't. And now, with this series loss, day off tomorrow, you got to go play the freaking Phillies now. The 23-11 Phillies who have won 4 in a row. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They just beat the Giants 14-3 yesterday. They're kicking everyone's teeth. And you got Spencer Turnbull, who's got an ERA of 167 in 32 innings of work this season. He's been dominant. You got to play him in Game 1. Game 2 is Chris Bassett versus Zach Wheeler, who has an ERA of 191 and a whip of under 1 in 42 innings this season. And you're expecting the Blue Jays to win 1 game? I don't know. It's awful. It really is, watching teams in this city. And we are at the lowest of the low right now. The Jays are now 3 games under 500 at 16-19. The Leafs are eliminated. The Raptors, who the hell knows what they're doing right now? Obviously, the draft's coming up. That's about all I got. It's a rough time right now for Toronto sports. I mean, when isn't it, really? Other than the Raptors winning the championship in 2019, and if you want to say 2015 and 16 for the Blue Jays, that's it. That's all we got. Otherwise, it's been misery or heartbreak. And those two coincide with each other quite nicely. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. You enjoyed the video, not the game, because it sucks. It flat out sucks. And Eddie Rosario had a batting average of under 100 going into play today. And he had, where is he here? 2 hits in the game. He's just hitting over 100 now. Good on him. Good on Eddie Rosario. That's whatever. Hit that like button if you guys haven't done so already. Subscribe, that stuff. The Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff if you haven't done so already. And I'll talk to you guys. I guess the only thing left, Monday, Jays edition in Philly against the Phils. Was it 6:40 first pitch? Why did I go to the NHL? I don't want to look at that right now. I think it's a 6:40 first pitch in Philly. Berrios Turnbull's a pitching matchup. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And not the game, because it sucked. Talk to you guys then.